Hey, what's up everyone? It's Patrick Ross, and today we're starting a new Let's Play, Total War Shogun 2. Let's start a new campaign. Welcome to feudal Japan. There are tons of different clans that are living all around Japan, and in this game we're going to duke it out with all the other clans to try to take control. The win condition for the game is occupying the center of Japan while fending off all the other opponents. So we're going to play as the Date, which is a clan, as you can see, in northeastern Japan. Each turn in the game is a season, and you get to make a bunch of different decisions in your capitals and with your populace. So let's start off by looking at our capital of our province. I'm going to start off by improving our farming and our armor so that now we have access to better materials when we recruit soldiers. Next, I'm going to take our daimyo, who's like the king of our clan, put him into this army, and then I'm going to have this army go take out these rebels. So this will be our first battle of the game. On our side, we have 5 different units. Our daimyo, who's our general, like I said, he's kind of like the leader of our province, and he also will inspire the other troops in our army. We have 3 different spear units, the first one being a Yari Samurai, the next 2 are Yari Ashigaru, and finally we have a bow unit. The rebels don't have a general, which is going to make them a lot easier to take out. They just have some light cav, 2 different Yari Ashigaru, and a bow Ashigaru. So the game is kind of splits up into turns, which you can take as much time as you want, and then these battles. And in the battles, it's kind of like you need to make decisions more quickly. I mean, obviously you can pause the game during the battles, but you'll lose out on maybe the way you deploy your units. Okay, great. So to start the battle, we get to choose how we're going to set up our forces. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put the Yari Samurai in the middle. The reason being because I don't really like them, and I don't care whether they live or die in this battle. Not a big deal. Then I'm going to put the 2 Yari Ashigaru on either side. So these are going to be sort of like the infantry or the main lines of our army. We'll make a group out of this unit. Then I'm going to put the archers in front, the general behind, and if we were to try to arrange the entire setup, we can choose from one of these different arrangements. Let's see. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, great. So this is going to be kind of like how we're going to set up the units. The general in the back, the archers in the front, and then our melee units in the middle, and we'll switch that up once we get into combat. Now, surveying the battlefield, we're going to want to take this hill. It's very high. We'll have a nice tactical advantage if we can get up there. So I'm going to take my entire army over here, and let's drop them maybe here to start with. Move them over just a little bit too much. Yeah. And then I'm going to start the battle and immediately tell all my units to sprint to this high point. Now, over in the distance, you can see the enemies also getting arranged. But since we start off closer to this hill, I think we'll be able to take it first, and then we'll be able to command sort of a tactical advantage throughout the battle. It looks like they're bringing in their cavalry quite quickly, though, so we'll need to be aware of that. There are their cav, that's their archers, and those are their 2 spear units. Let's take a second to organize where we're going to put our units. So for the main forces, I'm going to put them here. And then for now, I'm going to put the bow units in the front. I'll advance if we're able to, but I don't want to get caught out with our units out of position because they're pretty close. The general will be in the back. This blue area shows his kind of area of influence. So as long as you keep your army within that region, you'll be able to increase their effectiveness. So something just to look out for. All right, great. My soldiers getting kind of lined up. Yep. And you can see the arrows coming in. They're shooting at us. But it's actually we're in a really good spot. Okay, run back, run back, run back, run back. Go, 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 go. And then let's have these guys charge forward. So they brought in their general to counteract our archers. I think they realized they were in a bad position, but we'd already sort of had them beat because we commanded this high ground, and when you're fighting with cavalry versus spear units, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage, and that's exactly what happened in that battle. They tried to beat my Yari Samurai with a cavalry unit, and so they got destroyed and they're running away. I don't see... One of their units is hidden. I can't find it right now, but I can... Oh, I think I just saw it, yeah. So there's their Bow Ashigaru. These are their Yari Ashigaru. What I can do... And there's their other unit. Okay. So it looks like they've kind of set up just down here. So I'm going to take my units and maybe advance a little bit forward. And again, stay on the high point, because we're going to have a really nice tactical advantage if we're able to stay above the enemy. Finally, I'm going to bring in my other units. Something like this. So you can see how this kind of moves quickly. You can definitely take more time depending on how the battle goes. This one's a pretty easy battle because there's not that many enemy to deal with. In fact, I'm thinking about charging in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my general. So you know how I mentioned it's important to keep the general around your army? Well, I'm actually going to take the general in. And I'm going to use him to attack these bow units. They might be caught out of position where they can't defend their bow units. Like, obviously, they'll want to use their spear units against our bow. But right now, they're not in a good spot to do that. These guys will put in a defensive formation. Nope, never mind. Untoggle that defensive formation. And then for my general, I'm going to run away. So we attacked the bow units, we charged, and now let's get out of there. Yeah, now their entire army is now following our general around. Which isn't really doing them any good, because our general is much faster than their army. I really want them to try and attack up this hill, but they won't do it. So, looks like they're trying to pin our general back. I'm going to pull the general all the way back to where we started, and then hopefully they'll follow us up the hill. Oh, might not be able to make that one. Great. So units do get fatigued. As the battle keeps going, everyone gets tired out. So running my general around a lot is going to like tire out this unit. I'm going to finish off by setting it back up on the top of the hill. Finally, these guys need to stay where they are, because we're actually now in a really good position to win this battle. So they've got their bow, and then these are their two Yari Ashigaru units. Our general is back on top of this hill. Since we're the attackers, I guess we will have to come to them. So what I'm going to do is... Oh, nope, never mind. They seem to want to come to us. Great. Let's reposition a little bit, because this is their main force. And I'm going to take these guys and just run down and take those units out. So here, these guys here. So now they've got... Our units are ready to flank their units. We'll be able to come around the side and meet them in the front. Meanwhile, our Yari Ashigaru are going up against their bow units. Their bow units will be weak to our more melee focused units. And it looks like they're about to run away. So what should we do in this situation? If they're running, we should take them out. So this was a nice, easy win to start off with. Nothing really happened in this battle, and the reason is because they didn't have a general, and because they didn't have a general, they were like just disorganized, and it was really easy to shatter their units. Here you can see that our Yari Ashigaru are actually like catching up with and picking off their bow units. One of the big reasons for that is their bow units are kind of tired, winded, and our units are fresh, so we're able to catch up with them pretty quickly. Over here, our entire army is chasing after their randomly running away Yari Ashigaru. I'm going to speed this up, but yeah, this is going to be a total slaughter. So yeah, so the main points of this battle that I wanted to focus on were we had this hill. We had a nice tactical advantage. They couldn't shoot arrows into it because we had this tree line. So any arrows that they fired were actually just being caught by the trees. And they also couldn't really do anything about our... Let's see who's running away. They've got a few units who made it away. They couldn't do anything about our position, and they also had fewer units overall. So we were easily able to win that battle. And in the grand scheme of this game, what we've done right now is we've established our control over our province. So we defeated the rebels, killing 200 and losing only 15. I think, yeah, perfect. And these upgrade arrows suggest that you've like gotten stronger, which is also really cool. So what's left over here is just the remainder of their forces. It's about 90 troops. We have a total of a lot more. So let's just go take out the rest of their units. And instead of fighting this, I'm going to auto-resolve this battle. I like the artwork of this game a lot. I find it very calming. Even though I guess the game itself is somewhat violent, I just like the setting. It's very nice. Okay, cool. So we've won these 2 early battles, and our daimyo, who's a general in this army, has increased in rank. So let's see what upgrades we can give him. Here's our daimyo. You can imagine that this is kind of like this is who you are in the game, although if the daimyo were to die, you would play as his son. So we get a retainer now that we've leveled up. We can either take the poet, who increases our honor, or we can take the other poet, who increases our honor. I'm going to take the one that increases our honor. This is our skill tree. There's tons of cool things we can get. I'm going to start off by making this general a strategist. The advantage of being a strategist is that you can move farther. And movement range is really useful if you're trying to reach maybe deep into your enemy's base or trying to run away from a unit. It's always nice to be able to move farther than your opponents. Finally, what I'm going to do with this army is I'm going to get rid of that Yari Samurai. It's a very expensive unit, and we want to make sure that we keep our army cheap so that we can make money. Great, I'm also going to sally out this last unit just to put all the army together. All right, cool. So during this turn, we upgraded our province. We bought a farm and an improved armor. We also won some battles. And finally, I want to recruit new soldiers that we're going to use in the future. So I'm going to get this Katana Samurai. They're really strong. Now, if we switch over here, there's a few buttons that we want to go through. First off, let's check out our family. So here we are. This is, you can imagine, us, the daimyo, that just won those battles. This is our beautiful wife. We have 2 children, both of which seem to be daughters. I'm not sure about this one. Okay, this one's a son. Definitely a son. Then over here we have 2 brothers, one of which we just used to move into the army, and he's our commissioner of warfare. And this guy, who's 18, who hasn't yet come of age for some reason. In terms of diplomacy, right now we only know ourselves, the Date, and we've met 2 other clans. This green clan, which we're friendly with, and then the red clan, the Mogami, who we want to fight. They're over here in these 2 provinces. We're going to be fighting them a lot, maybe this video and the next one. We also get to increase our technology over the course of the game. One sort of technology that I really like to get early on is equal fields. It improves your farms and allows you to get a lot more money each turn. Great. And then finally, we can check out the finances. So the only point of the economy in this game is to support your military. It's just a way to get more money so that you have more soldiers you can employ. All of that done, let's finish our first turn. So yeah, that was a pretty eventful first turn. Often it's a little bit simpler. Right now you're seeing all the other clans take their turns, and now we get to go again. So this is a quest that I'm going to ignore for now. I'm going to take my army and bring it all the way back to my capital because I'm busy recruiting new units, and I want to use these new units within the army. Let's get a couple more Katana Samurai. These guys are really strong, and we're definitely going to use them in our future fights. Other than that, I think I'm happy with what we have, so we can end that turn. Pretty straightforward. So if you look over to the left, this Ugo province is one of the provinces that the Mogami control. They're the clan that we're trying to fight against. We are definitely going to need to make our army stronger so that we can deal with the Mogami in our future turns. Right now I'm doing that by recruiting new soldiers. As you saw, we just got 1 Katana Samurai, and I've got 2 more toggled up. So here's the army that we have. In terms of construction, I might as well build some stuff while I wait for the army to develop. I can either increase the strength of my base, or I can get things that will improve my economy. I want to get this harbor as quickly as possible because it will increase the rate that my town grows. But if I buy the harbor, I can't improve my stronghold, which is also pretty valuable. I think I'll take the stronghold upgrade. Increasing your stronghold makes your defenses better at this base, and it makes it so the people in this province stay a bit happier. Finally, you can use it to recruit an increased number of units, so we'll have a larger military output. I'm not sure if it's the best choice to increase the stronghold, but it seems like a pretty effective use of money, so I'm going to go for it now. Again, other than that, I think we're happy with what we have this turn, and we'll move on. So that was autumn. As I mentioned, each of the turns is a season, and you can kind of see how the terrain of the game changes for each season. It's really fun when it's winter, because when you fight battles, you get to see all the snow. So we're in winter right now. Let's get that harbor upgrade that I mentioned, and then flipping it back over to recruitment, maybe we'll take one more Katana Samurai. Our army right now has 2, and we're getting 2 more. I think that'll be plenty for a while. They're pretty strong units. I'm also going to recruit maybe some Bo Ashigaru next after we finish these 2. And I think that should finish all the troops we need. Again, let's finish our turn. So one thing to keep in mind is, while obviously we get to make decisions, other provinces also get to make decisions, and their clans might come to attack us. So it's good to always be able to keep some sort of defense or army around your base, because you never want to lose it. Right now we've got our army in the base, so I'm not too concerned. I'm going to wait this turn for the Katana Samurai, and then next turn I'll get the 2 Bara Ashigaru. In terms of construction, we might as well increase the roads. I don't think they're extremely valuable because they help both you and your opponents, but it doesn't hurt. Cool. So that ends this spring. I think we'll be ready to attack maybe by fall or winter. Not sure. Great. So in terms of technology, we've been doing our research. So we got first the Way of the Chi. Second, we got this Todofuken. And now we're researching equal fields, which is what I really wanted. The other 2 will give us cool upgrades too. And now that we've increased the size of our base, we can build something new. Looking at these different options that I have, some that are kind of cool are a Saki Den, which lets you recruit ninja and also increases your happiness. Market, which is something I might also choose. It lets you recruit Metsukes, who are kind of like, I think, policemen. And they improve your order and also increase the wealth that you generate. So they're pretty useful. Maybe you could think of them as mayors as well. We can also get new military units so that we can build new units. I'm going to want this Yari Juilliard at some point, but I'm not sure if I need it right now. I'm kind of undecided. Let's look and see what else we could buy. A trading port would be good as well, because now it would allow us to increase our income from other provinces. I guess I'll go with that, because it's always good to invest in economy early so you can get the most use out of it. But if I do that, I can't recruit the soldiers I wanted. So, never mind. Let's go back. This turn, I definitely want to get 2 Bo Ashigaru. I can get 2, and I'll have them for the next turn, so we can go to war. Then over here, I only have 1,300 Koku left, which is like the currency in this game. And we get a market, which is another really cool building that will definitely increase your economic output. I guess I'm still not sure if I should get that or if I should get the Yari Juilliard, because we can get good units with this. So the advantage of the Yari Juilliard is that eventually I'll be able to recruit really strong soldiers from this province. But I need the money to buy the soldiers anyway. I guess I'll go with the market. I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer there. Either is fine. Cool. And now my army is all set to go charging out into Ugo province. So let's pass this last turn, and then we'll go to war. Another thing you can see down here in the bottom right, this coin with the arrow above it, is how much income you're generating each turn. Our bow should go over here. Excellent. So we're generating about 1,200. One reason we're not generating more is because each of these units that you can see here has an upkeep cost. Looking over here to the finance tab, our actual tax income and other resources are giving us about 2,000 koku, but our army costs us about 1,000. That's why we're not getting as much income as you might expect. Great. So now that we have our army, let's go charging out. This army's got a pretty strong composition for this early in the game, so I think we'll be good as long as we're fighting against forces that are equal in size. Even slightly bigger should be okay. Our best units are these Katana Samurai, but we also have some good ranged units, so if we need to fight a defensive battle, we'll be set. In terms of upgrades this turn, we could improve the roads. I guess we might as well, because like I said, you kind of always want those economic improvements early so you can get the most money from them. And great, that should end this turn. Again, each of the other provinces is going through their turn. One thing we need to consider is that when it's winter, if you move your army into another province, you're going to sort of lose soldiers as a, I guess, kind of a tax, because just like you don't have maybe the supply lines that you might need. I'm just going to ignore the problem. It's not great, but it's what we have right now. I want to make sure that I get to their base before they come around the north and come to us. So it's sort of a race against time. I could also recruit more units to hold my base, but like you saw, they're expensive. And I don't want to waste the money on them. I think I'm going to hold all my money right now, and then next turn I'll use it to buy some other good stuff. Cool. Okay, let's pass this turn. Next turn, we're going to have to attack the base of one of the two Mogami provinces. They actually occupy two, which is, more than us. So we definitely need to take one of them away. Here's our army, and you can notice that like each of these batteries that says how many troops we have is slightly diminished. It's because we've lost a few over the winter. Not a big deal, though. Great. Here's their province capital. Let's see what sort of army they have inside. Unsure, but not that big. I think we'll be able to manage it. So we're going to go and siege their capital. We've got two options here. Either we can try to scale their walls and assault the capital, or wait it out and make them come to us. I actually think it might be fine to wait it out, because our army is really strong, and there's always a bit of a risk on an assault. At least when I'm playing, there's a bit of a risk on an assault. So I'm going to continue the siege. They can only hold out for so long, and they'll have to come fight us. For instance, here they only have 3 turns until surrender. Plus, their army can escape and come to the north, so I think it's a pretty safe bet that we'll be okay. In the meantime, we can get one of these Metsukes. Like I mentioned, Metsukes or maybe judges is another good analogy. I'm really not sure, but we're going to be able to use them to increase our economic output. Another thing that we're going to want to do is, since we took the time to buy the market, we might as well improve it. So we'll switch up to a rice exchange. This will get us even more wealth from this province. On the downside, we'll be running a little low on food. So in 5 turns, I'll run out of food, but in 5 turns, I'll definitely occupy this province. I think it'll be fine. Also, don't forget, we're trying to research some of these upgrades so we can get more food in the future. Great, let's pass this turn as well. We'll see if they come sailing out of their fort to fight us, or if they try to hold out on the siege. I'm not really sure what the advantages of either strategy are, but I would expect them to come fight soon. Cool, so they chose to continue the siege this turn. Maybe they're trying to recruit more units. Their army is honestly trash, though, so we'll definitely be able to fight them. I'm going to take this Metsuke and make him oversee our settlement. That's what we're going to use to increase our economic output here. Awesome. Again, I don't want to recruit new units because I've got a pretty awesome army, and I want to increase my economic power before I invest more in the military. And lastly, it looks like we have a new daughter. Let's check out our family tree. So switching up to the clan management, looking at the family and council, yes. We have a daughter who clearly looks very different than the son which we previously had. Oh, another cool thing that I forgot to do is we should switch up what our brother's doing. Right now he's in charge of warfare, but I'd like him to be in charge of finance. It'll just make our army a little bit cheaper, which is always great. Cool. Let's finish that turn as well. Another thing that the Mogami might be doing is they could be bringing up another force that they have in their second province to fight us up here. Again, I'm really not concerned. As long as I've got a good position on the battlefield, I'll be able to win. Cool. It looks like it's time to fight. Let's do it. Let's do it. The cool thing about being on defense is by default they have to come to you. So you can just pick a good spot and wait for them. Which is maybe a little cheap, but also pretty effective. Cool. So let's figure out where we want to defend. This looks like a decent ridge. Or maybe what's directly in front of us could be good. It's not maybe the best, though. Yeah, this could be fine. I kind of like the ridge here. The problem with that ridge is there's this sort of mountain impasse here, which might prevent us from actually doing what we want. I'm going to use this ridge. Yeah, I think this will be good. Maybe it's at least a bit easier to set up on. So let's organize our troops. I'm going to take the 3 bow units and group them. Actually, sorry. First I'm going to organize them, then group them. Let's see. Group. I'll group the... I'll group my general with... I'll group all these guys, I guess. They kind of belong together. Then let's see what sort of military alignments we could use. This one's not bad. Unclick everything. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I like this arrangement, actually. Let's ungroup. A lot of the battle is trying to make these decisions because when the battle actually starts, you don't really have a chance to change much. You're kind of stuck with what you have. So I think I'm going to just take the archers and maybe move them a little bit wider would be good on top of this. Now I'm starting to think that this one might be better because I can just set everything up and wait. Let's try doing that. So I can take the archers, have them take a pretty wide stance at the top of this hill. Again, the advantage of being at the top of the hill is that we'll be able to have a larger range of fire. The enemies will have to come to us. We'll have a tactical advantage, etc., etc. It's definitely always good to be on top of a hill or other high location. In terms of the body of our army, I'm going to take these cheaper units and maybe put them in the center. We have a lot of them, though. Are they at a loose formation? Yeah, they probably should just be in a tighter formation. Great. So these guys will be great for anti-cav. Pretty useful units overall. And then in terms of the flanks, I'll take one of which, again, these guys should be a little bit tighter in their formation. I'll take one of which to be the swordsman, and then also put these guys on the other side. Maybe slightly in. So these guys are like, all of them are kind of like defending the cavalry. I think that's fine. One weakness of these Katana Samurai is that they're actually really bad against mounted units. So thinking about that, I'm going to switch the order a little bit. I'm going to put them on the inside. Because they're like the heart of the army. They're the strongest part. We might as well have them sort of like face up with our opponents. And then I'll put the Yari Ashigaru, who are kind of like the civilians. Or like, maybe, I don't know, the weakest units. I wouldn't say the weakest, actually. They're really useful. I'm not really sure how to regard them. They're cheap, but extremely effective units. Sure, I think that's about right. Again, I'm just trying to move these guys right out of the way of the archers. Yeah, that looks about right. And then this guy, it sucks because of this stupid crest here. So maybe he's going to have to be a little lower. But he'll at least guard that flank. Fine. And then here are 2 generals. Well, the daimyo and his bro. So we'll put them here, and then we'll start the battle, and I'll run them up over to the top of the hill. Great. So this is kind of our setup for now. I think I could slightly improve these guys. Maybe, yeah, something like that looks good. The setup is maybe a little compact, but yeah, let's turn around and see. So there's the enemy. They're going to have to come all the way over here. And then we already have this hill, like zooming in a little bit. This is like what their soldiers are going to be seeing. Just like arrows raining down, a ton of really strong units, flanking, no real way to access like our weak units. And then generals at the very top. Cool. Let's move these guys. I actually think they're just fine. Let's speed this up. So I'm going to press fast forward. They should come to us. Let's see what they're doing. They're walking very slowly towards us. Yeah. This could take a little while. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. And you can see even like, it kind of shows the geography of where we are. Like if you look over here, that's the capital that we're fighting for. Here's the ocean behind us. And yeah, we're right on the coast. Okay, cool. Now they're finally cresting this last hill. Let's see. Maybe I'll slow down a little bit. Nope. I'm still going to speed this up. They really have absolutely no strategy right now. They're just kind of wandering forward. I can't wait for them to get in range of our archers. Okay, here they come. So they're down here thinking this is like a good spot to be. Definitely not a good spot to be. Even if they're shooting at us, we're like, they have to shoot arrows upwards, whereas we get to shoot downwards. I guess we're like, because I put the archers in the back, we're just slightly not able to get them in range. So I'm going to move the archers just a little bit forward. Let's take out maybe these guys. If we can take out their bow units, then they won't have a chance in this sort of like skirmish or range combat. So there are all of our arrows shooting into this unit. Yeah. Let's see. They've lost 6 units so far. And yeah. Our accuracy is not very good because these are all like kind of like civilian soldiers. But just because of our superior formation and position, I think we'll be able to win this one pretty decisively. So they've lost about 15 so far. Let's zoom in to see their perspective. So this is like maybe for these like larger battles, there's like a lot of this sort of like bow fire at the beginning to try to establish maybe skirmishing. He's down. So yeah, both sides are kind of just trying to take this advantage. I'm going to inspire some of these, let's see, bow units, so that they're slightly more accurate. Is one of the few things I can do. There we go. Great. Oh, now they're charging forward. I think, so this is like the cost of these skirmishes. They definitely lost, and now they're mad. So let's just pull back a little bit for the archers, so we're not in the way. Then in terms of this battle, they really have absolutely no formation. I'm not really sure what they're trying to do. We're pretty wide, so I'm not really concerned about them flanking us. Again, let's make sure the archers are firing what they should be. Again, let's just finish taking out that one. Okay, it looks like they want to go over to this side of the battlefield. But they're not going to have much luck. So I'm going to take these guys up. Okay, they're coming in with the one unit that I'm worried about is this general. So I'm going to take my... And they're also trying to flank on this side. I'm just going to run down into those guys to prevent them from trying to come around the side. In terms of the actual battle, so all of these units should be fine. The only one I'm concerned about is their general. So I need to make sure that the general is in grave danger, my lord. Okay, now they're totally collapsing. Can you take out these guys? Can you take out these guys? Yeah, they've like completely lost their formation. A lot of these units are running away because they were like losing the battle. We've got them on the run on all the fronts.
My lord, a glorious victory will soon
Let's try to
be
get our
yours.
general organized and run these guys down, because they're being a pain. And you need to run down, let's see, maybe these guys? There's only 14 of them. Maybe we should just run these guys down. So yeah. That was kind of like another battle where it was like mostly setup. And then once they actually like ran into us to fight, they had like no chance because of our better units overall. And they got wiped out. So right now their units are running away. And we're just going to run them all down. So I'm going to fast forward this as we just destroy the remaining units. A couple advantages to this. First, the generals get experience from like fighting these weak soldiers. So they become a little bit stronger. Second, let's see if we can catch those guys. Second, if we don't eliminate these units now, we're going to have to fight them next turn anyway. So, yeah, just try to get rid of them when we can. And like you can see, they're not even really fighting back. So it's just like, you know, no cost in doing it. Awesome. So another decisive victory. Mostly because we had a really good position in the battlefield. And we got this from being on the defensive side. So we didn't lose any units. If we look at the details, we had a pretty even spread. Our generals both took out a lot of soldiers at the end. But the Katana Samurai were really the MVPs. The bow units didn't really do much. I don't really get them. They're valuable to have those little skirmishes at the beginning, but they don't really kill that many people. Cool. So it's still not our turn. We're waiting for everyone else to finish their turns before we get to go again. Oh, yeah, now it's our turn. Definitely our turn. All right, so let's take over this capital. This is all they have left from that battle. And so again, we're just going to auto-resolve it. Cool. So now we've captured our first new province. We're going to peacefully occupy it, and we're definitely going to use it as a way to gather money, recruit resources, get more people, grow our clan. Okay, awesome. So I think I'm going to pick up the next episode here. In this episode, we took out the rebels, we built up our army, and then we went out and took one of the two Mogami provinces. Next episode, we're going to need to swing to the south and try to look into the second province. See you guys, this is Patrick Ross, signing out.